Oh, we're recording. Oh. Hey everyone, I am Shannon Roberts. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time joining, I have not posted here in over a year. I think my last couple of posts were in October of 2022. The second to last was on commitment and consistency, which I'm going to touch base on in a moment. And also non-sleep, deep rest, guided activity for you to rest your heart, your soul, your mind, and your body for about 20 minutes in the middle of the day or in the evening or what have you. Since then, I have been gone. I have been resting my body for longer than 20 minutes and really digging into and discovering some issues that were compromising my personal ability to be consistent and feeling committed. It was interesting that I shared that last video and then I wrestled with those challenges myself. That's kind of how things usually go, right? We tend to lead first in a situation or experience a situation first, and then not surprisingly others are either already in our midst who will soon benefit from what we learn on that journey, which I hope you do today, or they come later, whether it's through coaching or just friendship or connection. And I haven't been coaching for the past year. I intentionally and consciously stopped coaching the end of January to really press into my health, because I had some diagnostics after several symptoms that were just raging and crazy pop up that initially led to the word cancerous, and then after some more diagnostic testing, everything was clear, but it shook me enough to really want to dig into what is exactly going on. And in that process, I discovered that my hormones were completely all of whack. I mean, they were whack-a-mole. And yeah, I had this chance interaction with a gal at the sauna, and she was just talking about how she began some hormone replacement therapy. And I know that's controversial, but I'm not here telling you to go do that yourself. This was a path that I took for myself personally, and as you'll learn, it was the right path for me personally. But we had this chance encounter. I overheard her. I was eavesdropping in the sauna. And then like a week or so later, because I was praying, Lord, like, can you help me? I want to be consistent and I want to be committed and I want to follow through on the high calling that you have for me. But every single time I try to implement a protocol or a plan, however you want to call that, a blueprint, I feel like I fail after 2 or 3 weeks. I just don't have the strength. I don't have the stamina. I don't have the energy. I feel heavy and weighty all the time, both in soul and body. Like, I need answers. And so I had overheard this gal talk, and then we ran into one another in the sauna at a later time, and I just straight up asked her. I was like, can you give me more information about this? She's like, sure. I evangelized this. This totally changed my life. I was like, are you perimenopausal, menopausal? She's like, both. Like, I'm menopausal. And I was like, holy smokes, wow. And she just was like zippy and had all this energy. And I think she's like 55, 56. So she's, 11, 12 years older than myself. And I'm like, I want that. I want whatever it is that you have discovered. So she drops the seed. I start doing research. I discover that some of my symptoms, like I had high LDL, my vision was getting blurry, I was waking up with night sweats, I was feeling heavy sometimes, not depressed, not sad, because I have the joy of the Lord, right? I have the Holy Spirit in me, but just a sense of heaviness in my soul sometimes, like the weight of the world was on me, but it's not. It's all on Him, right? And He lives and loves through us, and He shines His light. But that was the issue. I felt like He couldn't live through me and shine His light because of the physiological things that were going on, the biological activities that were going on. And so as I learned more about my symptoms, I'm like, I pinpointed it myself. I'm like, this is the hormone that is causing issues for me. This is what is going on. So I connected with a doctor who is supportive of and administers hormone replacement therapy. And also I'm going to grab this real quick just because I think that it's beneficial. Oh, I just lost my light. There we go. I have my artificial light, happy light or whatnot that I turn on every single morning now when I get up, because we're in the hours where it's dark, as you can tell. But I'm reading this book, OUTLIVE by Attia. I'm not reading it right now, but at the time, he had just released his book, so I had that conversation with her February-ish, I think, and then he released this book in March, and so I'm reading it, and then I watched a video that he had shared with Dr. Andrew Huberman. I think it was August of 2022, and he's like, hands down, like this is something that women need to know about, or at least the clients and the patients that he interacts with. I dug in, you guys. I dug in, I did my research, I made the appointment, had the blood work done. My estrogen was okay, progesterone was okay, TSH was good, vitamin D's were okay, and I've been consciously like focusing on my vitamin D3 levels for years, just because I know, you know, you live in the Midwest, there's not a lot of sunshine, especially in the winter months. But then there was the testosterone piece. Wow. I'm basically operating at the levels of a 70-year-old. Now, I came across a website that said if you are younger than 50, and your levels are lower than 50, I need to fact check myself, then you're low. Mine was like a fifth of that. I was like, oh my gosh, explains so much. And for how long my levels have been this way, I have no idea. I have no idea. I would say like maybe after my children were born and they're 22 and 19, because my life kind of reflected not so much, you know, the diagnostics that were revealing things, but just that weightiness, that heaviness, hard to find joy sometimes, libido, just different things like that. Anyway, fast forward, I finally started the treatment in April, gave it some time. Almost instantly, I felt completely different. I felt like a completely different woman. I felt like I had strength. I felt like I could lift weights. I felt like I could take on the world, you know? And so I was like, all right, Lord, thank you for connecting me randomly with the gal in the sauna. Thank you for connecting me with the research that supports the fact that we as women also need testosterone in our bodies. Thank you for pointing me to just all of these solutions by way of the pillars of health. You know, I didn't forego and I haven't forsaken getting fresh air and drinking plenty of water and sunlight first thing in the morning, and in the evening I go for a walk for a sunset lighting. Whole foods for the most part. Yes, there were some things that still need to be addressed by way of habits that I would default to because it didn't feel good, and so we're still working on pruning those out. But I'm a completely different person, and I'm just so grateful because it has impacted my relationships. As you can imagine, yes, libido improved, and so my relationship with my husband has improved. My relationship with our daughters has improved. My relationship with myself has improved, and that one was really beginning to deteriorate. Because if you know, you can have a protocol, and like I said in my second to last video, if you don't walk it out, it doesn't matter. It's not just head knowledge that makes things happen, it's actually application. And I was applying, but I was failing. So I felt like a failure. I felt shame. I felt like, why can't I walk in my high calling? I know I'm called to teach and encourage and facilitate healing and to help others get connected to the word and spirit of the Lord so they too can have that discovery of their high calling and their vision and their destiny in Him, whatever that may be, and they can begin to walk in it. They can live free, they can live healed, and they can live transformed every single day. So this past year, I've been resting, I've been finding freedom, and I've been healed. I've been walking in healing. And I love it because it was a physical issue. It was a physical issue. And I know sometimes as Christians we can over spiritualize things and it's the enemy, and every single time I start and the warfare comes, and I'm sure that there's a component to that in some measure. But this was physical, and there was a solution for it, and that too is answered prayer. That too is God stepping in and intervening. That too is God bringing to light challenges and issues. Like I said, I just happened to hear a lady say this. I just happened to be able to watch a video between Peter Attia and Andrew Huberman. Sorry if you ever watched this, Andrew. I just happened to come across a book that just happened to be published in March. I don't think those things just happened. The Lord is providing answers and setting me up for 2024. which is where I'm headed into, definitely coaching more, potentially ministering more, potentially. This YouTube channel is for my personal journey. It is for where I share my personal journey and tidbits of information and kind of link it into and connect it with the podcast, the Mighty Works podcast, where I'm sharing testimonies of creations and miracles and conversations, and then also tying it into my Facebook page, the Mighty Coaching Facebook page, where I just kind of share information and inspiration. I feel like that thing is just so gridlocked sometimes as far as being able to disperse information. But that's what this is for. And I'm going to get back to it. And I'm excited for what is ahead because, yeah, it is going to be so good. And I'm excited about this weekend. I'm in a tiny home for the weekend. The Lord led me down here yesterday. I woke up yesterday morning and I checked the weather and I'm like, ooh, it's going to be nice here. What's going to be like in Kentucky? And so it was going to be super nice. And I just had this idea. I've been eyeing this cute little place for quite some time. So it was like, all right, if all these things come together, I'm going. And so here I am. Here I am. I'm wrapping up some work this morning because, well, orthopedics still needs support in my career. And then I also brought my palette. I'm going to do some painting. I brought books. I listened to Rick Rubin's book, The Creative Act, on the way down here since it was about a 5-hour drive. So I'm going to wrap that up later. And then I'm going to go do some hiking. I'm super excited to do that, go do some hiking, and then hang out with some of the hikers and climbers around here this afternoon and tomorrow evening as well. So I'm really excited about this weekend, bringing closure to a season that really needs closure and just really being launched into this next season. And I'm really looking forward to continue to help, love, serve, be, and encourage others to find answers for themselves, so that they can live in optimal health towards longevity and really thrive in life. And my prayer is that it's in Christ. But if you're not there yet, that's okay. I want you to thrive as well. And maybe one day through all of this, He will continue to unlock you to the point where you're ready to receive Him and join us and join our family. So anyway, I'm going to hop off here. This is a little bit longer than I anticipated, but I pray you are blessed. I pray you are well. And I pray that you are walking in freedom, healing, and transformation, living in optimal health towards longevity. Take care. God bless.